Hello and welcome back to Paul's Messy Bench Models. Today we have a special guest with us, Ivan. Ivan is a 1/35th scale resin figure from Copper State Models. Copper State Models kind of specializes in stuff from around the World War I era. They do some World War I aircraft and World War I aircraft accessories. And they do some armored cars and figures to go along with the armored cars and the aircraft kits. So if you look at the name and the logo of Copper State Models, you'd probably guess that they're based in Arizona. Well, you'd be close. They're in Latvia. The company was founded by Eric Height in Arizona. But he ran it as long as he wanted to and then sold it to a couple of guys in Latvia. So it does all make sense. As much as anything makes sense. Ivan here is a pre-revolutionary Russian soldier. So he's an Imperial Russian. It's a pretty easy figure to assemble. All the parts fit very well. They didn't require much cleanup to get them to go together nicely. I primed it with Tamiya fine white primer, and then I painted it with various Vallejo acrylics. The base I made from some scrap wood I had out in the garage, and I've got a threaded hole in the bottom so I can do the trick of using a hanger bolt to make a handle to hold on to while I paint him. This was my first attempt at replicating snow. I wanted to try it on a small figure base before I tried a diorama. And I tried out some of this Tamiya powder snow effect and snow effect. It's like a white paint and binder with tiny micro balloons in it. This one's a finer texture than this one. I poured some coffee into my toolbox, so if you want yours to look this nasty, you'll have to do that yourself. They don't come this way. Inside the jars, they're kind of the consistency of cake frosting. So here's the Tamiya powder snow on the left and the regular snow on the right. You can see this is a coarser texture, and it's got more reflective bits in it, and this is just sort of a smoother, more uniform kind of goop, and it dries rock hard. The figure comes with a really nice Mosin-Nagant rifle, which was the primary Russian rifle from the 1890s all the way up through World War II. While I was researching how to paint it, I came upon some interesting trivia about it. Apparently, almost 1 million of these were built in the good old US of A. Like most countries, the Russians didn't really realize just how bad World War I was going to get. So once it got started, they realized they were desperately short of rifles, and they didn't really have the industrial capacity to make as many as they needed. Since the United States was the only industrialized power that was still neutral in the war, the Russians tried to buy a bunch of rifles from the USA. The Tsar actually ordered about 3 million rifles from Remington and Westinghouse, and those two companies geared up to produce a whole bunch of rifles. Westinghouse actually built a whole new factory just to make rifles for the Russians. Unfortunately, after about 750,000 rifles were made and almost 500,000 already shipped to Russia, the Russians decided to do sort of an upper management restructuring, and there were a lot of competing factions, and all of them really enjoyed and appreciated using the rifles, but none of them actually felt responsible for paying for them. And at about this time, the United States is getting sucked into the war, and the U.S. government realizes two of their biggest defense contractors are on the verge of bankruptcy because the Russians won't pay for their rifles. So Uncle Sam wound up buying the remainder of the rifles, even though they used a cartridge that the United States military didn't use. But it was okay, since after the war, all the Western powers were terrified of the Bolsheviks, and all these rifles became useful to provide to anybody who promised to fight Bolsheviks. So they didn't go to waste. Well, that's all I've got for you in this episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Any parting words of wisdom, Ivan? No? Yet? Well, thanks for watching. Bye.